Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to WolfQuest Daybreak over Red Waters with Teau and his mate Sundance and their beautiful babies! So currently, Thunder and Jasper are both sick at the same time. Thunder is already down to 57%, which is not very good. He's a little hungry, and so is Jasper. It looks like they're not eating for some reason, which is very concerning. We want to make sure that they're getting plenty of food. So I'm going to put some food down in hopes that Thunder and Jasper will eat, and Teau will sit and watch his pups try and get better and encourage them to. Jasper is the last to eat, but it looks like he gets pretty bullied out of the way. He only had a bite before Buffalo came in and kind of shoved him out of the way. It looks like there's a pup dynamic there. It's possible that Buffalo sees him as a weaker sibling and therefore is taking the food. It does happen. It's actually pretty natural among pups to shove the weaker pups out of the way. It can happen. So I wonder how that will possibly affect the two of them and their relationship in the future, and if possibly Jasper survives, if he might hold some resentment to Buffalo for things like this. But regardless of Buffalo hounding the food just a little bit, it looks like Jasper got plenty to eat, and so now it is time to move. It is moving day. We are going to be moving the pups in hopes that this will help them get better. Perhaps the fleas are causing them to feel worse, even though the fleas may not have caused the sickness itself. And so Teau is not taking any risk by staying at this den, and he's moving them to the den that he was born in. Now, poor Teau has had a lot of bad luck on his previous moves. In the last litter that Teau had with Sundance, he lost Sunset to wolves, and so I think he's a little nervous. He's carrying Thunder. Jasper is going to fall behind a little bit, but I'm hoping Sundance will go and get him. But we're going to have to move kind of slow until Sundance either picks up Jasper or Teau has to go get Jasper. Poor Jasper was trying so hard to keep up. He really was trying. Oh, I don't know if Jasper kept up that time or if Sundance delivered him. But he wasn't very far away, so that's a good sign. Maybe Jasper will pull through. I'm going to switch and carry him for a little bit and have Thunder follow. And that way, Teau is spending some time with Jasper. Cielo, why are you staying so close to your mom? Goodness. You're not sick. I have two of your brothers that need my attention. Oh, this is going to be a long, very tedious journey, I feel. And Teau is a little panicked. Sundance doesn't seem to be carrying the pups. I think in some ways she's thinking that if they are meant to survive, they need to walk. And so there's a balance between her and Teau right now. While Teau has the pups in the grass, he's going to take a quick look over them to see how they're doing. It looks as though most of the pups have plenty of energy, but Jasper's kind of trailing behind a little more than the others, so he's going to carry Jasper this time, but they will have to stop for the night pretty soon. I like to imagine that Teau is just going over each and every one of them with his nose, and he's sniffing them to see how they're doing and just asking, how are you feeling? Are you tired yet? Overprotective dad over here, and we thought Mikhail was bad. And here comes little Thunder down the hill. He's trying so hard. I'm here, baby. I'm here. Come on. Let's go. We're actually almost there. I didn't realize how close this den was to the other. That's probably why we chose it to move to while we were playing Kiba and Bane. Perhaps Teo's even understanding that too, because it probably seemed so much farther away as a child, and then as an adult he's realizing it's really not that far. All the pups are moving pretty slow now, and for some reason Sundance is carrying Cielo but is not carrying Jasper. It's almost like Sundance is playing favorites, but I don't want to say that because I don't think she would do that. Perhaps we could say that Cielo suffered a small injury, and so he's not really sick, he's just injured, and it's healing. Maybe we could say that. And now in this grass, Teau has reached 0% wakefulness. So at this point, we are not useful to these pups getting better at all. We're gonna have to sleep in the grass for the night and make the rest of the journey tomorrow in hopes that we can get a fresh start and get these pups healed. It looks like one pup has healed, so Thunder recovered, but Jasper didn't. That's all right. It's gonna make this move a little quicker. Jasper's at 37%. That's actually not bad considering where he was. We should be all right. All right, Jasper. We're gonna take you, buddy, and then we're gonna get fresh food. I think some really fresh food would be good for Jasper as well. Perhaps we could find something close enough to the den that we could carry him to, give him some fresh food, maybe carry him to some fresh running water where he can bathe and enjoy some fresh water filtered through the rocks. And maybe, just maybe, that'll be enough to heal this little pup. On the deer running off from the site, Ollie just pushed me. Like, Dad, look at the deer. And he's like, I see them. Oh, did we make it? Yes, this is where we want the pups to be now. Teau was born here. I wonder how he feels about being back where he was born. We're gonna name this Eartha's Life because Eartha came into him when he was born. Even though he didn't know about her, her life brought him into this world. And so it makes this kind of a place of living. Maybe that's a good choice in hopes that it heals Jasper. Yes, the pups had it right. A good howl to claim the territory. But now we need to feed these pups. We need to be quick about it though, because I don't want to be away from Jasper for too long. Oh, cougar. Oh dear. Oh, that deer actually ran from that direction? We have to find this cougar quick. There it is. Whoo! It was above the hill where I couldn't see it. Honestly, that was an excellent ambush point, but Teau knew if it wasn't in front of him, it had to be behind him. So now he's gonna take his sweet mate, Sundance, and they're gonna go on a hunt. Mule deer carcass? Wait, what? Oh, it looks like Jasper just simply recovered on his own. What a blessing! And we just happened to come across carcass, possibly. This could be really nice for the two of them. Maybe some easier days. Oh my! That reminds me, I have to roll for today's difficulty! Whoops! One moment. Whoops, it was supposed to be inaccurate. Well... That's okay, because for some reason I feel like we didn't really do much that had to do with the difficulty. We might have been attacked more, possibly inaccurate during the move, but maybe not. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's go get this carcass. I don't know why, but in my stupid like writer's brain, I just imagine that all of the goddesses are up there right now, and Earth is like, oh, what a beautiful day. Everything is wonderful. And she's like, oh, yes, I'm supposed to decide whether or not I should bless my children. And she was just a little late deciding. I'm like, oh, you know, they need to be tested today. I'm just going to snag that blessing. Sundance, let it go, love. Come eat instead. She really has it out for the coyotes today. I don't know what's going on. So Teo's gonna call her back. Sundance has actually been acting kind of strange. Not picking up the sick pups. Running off from Teau, kind of taking her own initiative with things. I know she's hungry, but there's food right here. She went very far. I just hope it isn't her age showing, you know? She's getting old. I hope her mind isn't failing her. I think that Teau might have noticed that and is gonna give her a small kiss. Just to tell her it's okay and that he's here. It's very strange. This isn't like Sundance at all. But Teau is going to go back to the den because he still has pups he needs to take care of. And he can't let this worry him. He just will have to trust that Eartha will protect her from her own mind failing her if that is what's happening. Teo's gonna take a moment and give Sundance this food. She was quite hungry, so perhaps it's simply that she has the hangries. So he's gonna see if this might help her a little bit. She is only filled up to 82%, so perhaps after a sleep they'll go together and take down another kill. That could be it. Maybe she just has the hangries. Even I get those. Hubby can attest to that. So Teau is going to quickly feed these pups, but as he feeds them, he's going to kind of nose through them, check to see if there's any injuries, see if the fleas are already getting bad, if this den is just infested. He's going to look over Thunder and Jasper pretty thoroughly. He's been quite worried about them. He has noticed that Thunder is still having a hard time eating, so he's gonna lay there and just kind of encourage him, go eat, there's plenty of food. I think he likes the attention from his dad. Alright, more food, pups. There's plenty where that came from. Thunder just pushed Teau out of the way like, yes, more food. Alora seems to be doing well despite being the only female. She fits in with the boys. She's definitely going to be a little bit more of a tomboy, which I adore. And it seems like Cielo may actually be a little more soft. He's very close with his mother, and he's kind of exhibited signs of softness. Cotton is all too happy to go back in the den. Alright, how are we doing with some hunger? Everyone looks excellent, so I think Teau will just enjoy some sleep. He knows that he needs to hunt tomorrow, and the map probably looks pretty bad. I'm sure he can smell that his territorial scent markers are fading away. And the snow certainly doesn't help that either. Ollie and Cotton decided that they did not have to sleep outside. We have a perfectly safe and warm den. Oh, Thunder did too. Thunder has kind of quieted down and softened up a little bit after the sickness. I think the sickness might have weakened him. But Jasper is all too excited to get back into play. Luckily, the winds don't bring any bad news for the moment. A slight scent of coyote, but nothing too strong. The pups have eaten all Teau has to give, and Sundance didn't have much just to even give herself, so she isn't giving up any. We're gonna have to go on the hunt. Even though it's night, it's raining, the weather isn't ideal for a hunt. It doesn't matter for these two, they have to keep going. The territory markers in Crevice Lake have weakened significantly, so I think Teau is going to head that way in hopes of finding prey while he strengthens, or at least heading to the carcass that should still be there. He can smell it a little bit on the wind. Ooh, a lucky find on the way. Perfect, and it seems like a large horde as well. This one's kind of hanging out in the back. I wonder why it decided to run so quickly. Oh, no. Oh, I think it was two herds, actually. Well, let's see what this herd reveals for us first. Beautiful. This one was falling behind. In fact, this one was behind our two wolves. And so that kind of indicates if they're running slower than you are, they probably aren't healthy. And that was true. This one was fairly low. I'm sure Sundance is all too happy to get some food in her. She's looking lovingly at Teau right now. With a little bit of a confidence in her tail, she's very appreciative of him. Perhaps that really was all it is, just the fact that she was hungry. That was actually brought down extremely close to the den, so Teo's gonna take time to take some territory while he's out. He's really losing his hold, really on everything. I hate to say that because I don't like the idea of him feeling jaded, but I'm sure he feels like this is a task too much for one wolf, which is why he's diving in so hard to making sure his children survive, because he can't do this by himself. Him and Sundance are only two wolves, and he is very selfish with her. He needs her, and so he needs his children to go out and spread the good news of Eartha, and that together as a united pack they could be stronger, they could be blessed like they once were back in the old days, as Seraph used to tell Teau, when they were as big as horses and the mundane, or the humans, they called them the mundane, looked up to them rather than humans trapping and killing and hunting them. Unfortunately, the area over near Prospect Peak is fading, and Junction Butte has essentially taken back their territory. It is not looking good for Teau in that sense, but his goal is to do Crevice Lake this time. He can still manage to get that goal, but use this as a learning experience, as I said previously, that he needs help, that he can't do it by himself, which I think is why Sarah felt like she failed and that everything she did didn't matter. But it was because her children didn't grasp as hard onto the religion as Teau did, because Cricket had taken so many of her children from her, convinced them that she was bitter and hateful, and that the truths that she taught were not truths at all if she couldn't follow them herself. And a lot of her children kind of abandoned the ways because of what Cricket did. And Cricket's not necessarily a bad wolf or a bad mate because of it. He was hurt by Seraph very badly in his time with her, especially in the end. She was not good to him. She was very bitter that he was lazy. And in that way, yes, he wasn't a good mate, but she shouldn't have put him through the verbal attacks that she did against him. She wasn't physically aggressive or anything, but there was some verbal aggression. There's another word I could use, but I don't want to get demonetized or my video canceled. And so they weren't good for each other. They made each other very unhappy, and they hurt each other a lot. So Seraph didn't really have anyone but Teau, but by the time Teau was ready to go out, she truly thought that she had lost him too. But to Bovar, I know we're playing Teau, but I thought a little insight onto Seraph would be kind of fun, since there are so many similarities between Teau and Seraph. Teau also struggled with rage and bitterness, and he has shown none of that towards Sundance. She's noticed it in other ways and other things, and he's might have snapped at her a couple of times, but she knew how to get into his heart, and she continues to do that. And she grasped the faith of Eartha probably better than Teau did, and even helped remind him of what he was talking about, showing him what Seraph had taught, but actually showing him, not just telling him, but showing him. And I think that's the difference when you learn something. Sundance has done so much for Teau, and Cricket just couldn't be that for Seraph. And Rollo, he's still very new to the faith. He came in towards the end of Seraph's life. And in some ways, I think she's afraid to put that burden on him. So she doesn't share it as much with Rollo, but he does follow it. Rollo is much better. I would say Rollo's more like a Sundance, just a little bit goofier, if that makes sense. But Teau wouldn't be where he's standing right now without Sundance. And he loves her so much. It's going to be hard to lose her, but I do know sometimes mates can last longer than your other wolves, so I'm crossing my fingers that she lasts a good long time. Well, y'all, that is all for this episode of WolfQuest Daybreak over Red Waters. I hope you liked it and liked some of the extra storytelling. Oh, a Sundance needs a break. Cielo loves her so much. She's just like, I need a moment. Go be with your dad. I do see her being a little more aggressive than normal, and I don't know if that has to do with her aging or her health, but perhaps it does. Anyways, if you liked this episode, give the like button a tickle and a poke, subscribe to join our family if you haven't already, and jingle that bell to get notified of when I post WolfQuest. Also, feel free to tell me what you think is going on with Sundance in the comments below. I'd really love to hear that. Or, if you're a part of Discord, put it in the video discussions channel. If you're not a part of Discord, join. The link is in the description. If you click follow me, it'll show you all my socials, including Twitch, where I go live. I love you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for more of WolfQuest with Teau. Bye!